As measures to contain the spread of Lassa fever in Yobe State, the Commissioner for Information and Culture and Home Affairs, alongside other officials of the Information Ministry, recently visited the emirs of Fika, Barde, and Patiskum, respectively, to launch the last phase of the Lassa fever campaign. The three emirs pledged to give their support in ensuring that the campaign against the deadly virus is not being recorded in Yobe State.
Profound gratitude to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, for constituting this sensitization committee, who had come to visit us and tell us what the government is doing and about the Lassa fever. So they have briefed us, and we are happy with what they said. They have told us about the cleanliness, how to prevent the outbreak of Lassa fever by cleaning our atmosphere, be careful about the rats and so on. So we are very happy with this, and we hope with this sensitization visit we will keep the 100% free of Yobe State, since all our neighbors have outbreak, but we have not. So with this we hope that we will prevent this outbreak. So I think everybody has heard the Lambas district head and so on, and we'll continue to talk to our people to be careful and be careful in what they do and washing their cleanliness. So we will keep praying that this outbreak is contained and doesn't come to Yobe State.
The Yobe State government is committed to ensuring that this outbreak does not happen in Yobe, and that is the reason that we are reaching out to all the nooks and crannies of the state to ensure that all the necessary measures are taken to prevent an outbreak of Lassa fever, which is very deadly, as we know. Our health expert on the team has briefed His Highness about the dangers of the disease. It's a disaster, so to speak. So we want to make sure that every single person in the state is aware about the outbreak of Lassa fever in the country, is aware about what his or her own personal responsibility is to ensure that we prevent an outbreak in the state. So we are reaching out not just to traditional institutions, but to market groups, to associations, to schools, right, to even the traditional schools, Sangaya schools that we have across the nooks and crannies of the state. We want to make sure that the message is heard loud and clear. His Excellency Governor Malabuni is concerned about this disease and is concerned that people must take the necessary measures to prevent an outbreak in the state.
In a bid to combat morbidity and mortality in Yobe State, the state government has trained qualified drivers to man the tricycles ambulances in rural communities to aid speedy delivery of pregnant women and other medical complications. The State Commissioner for Health shed more light on the training and other incentives put in place by the state government to motivate drivers at the rural towns.
Basically is to address the second delay in mortalities and morbidities of women and children, and that is delay in transportation. In order to ensure that these customized tricycles are used properly, we actually used some strategies in order to identify the riders and the communities. And basically, as for the communities, we looked for rural communities that have hard to reach terrain for those tricycles to be taken. And then as for the riders, the selection process basically is that we looked at riders that are already working for the government, and then the second thing is that also those that have very good track record, and of course their own, and then in terms of also looked at their personal behaviors and so on, and then of course those that have positive attitude. These are some of the things that we really looked at, and then obviously, of course, the track record in terms of how far they have managed those resources that were given to them in the past. Because we want these tricycles to be carefully used and for them to last the duration that they're supposed to last. But then in order to enhance all this, the purpose of partnering with the Federal Road Safety Corps is to train them on safe riding, of course, maintenance and other things that will also ensure maximal and beneficial utilization of the tricycle.
In an effort to curb youth restiveness and unemployment, the Yobe State government has embarked on large-scale entrepreneurship skills by training a large number of youths on different handiworks. Speaking with Impact Yobe Crew, the Commissioner for Youth, Sport and Social Development noted that one of the mandates of Governor Buni's administration is to create employment for Yobeans. Some of the beneficiaries applauded Governor Maimala Buni for the initiative.
He said during the campaign, and you have seen it, he started just recently about 640 youths graduated from training of paints and the making and the mixing of the paints. They have done it, get their certificates. They are now on ground to face any work or any challenges. So we have this one on ground. And also we have another empowerment that we are now processing. It's like tiling, interlocks. All this is a commitment made by His Excellency the Governor of Yobe, Right Honorable Maimala Buni, and all the projects is on course. We are working on it.
I have already trained 40 youth in our local government, which is they have already take other 6 weeks training here in Damaturu, and they have acquired that training. In fact, now state government has already gave them all the chemicals, gallangs, patterns, and all other materials, and we have transported it to our local government headquarters. Now it's almost ready for make a factory, at least a bin where they can start that work. But we are only now waiting for the certificate, to issue the certificate of graduation.
Due to the new government we are now in, the governor also is a youth, and also what he is doing is also to boost the unity among the youth of the Yobe State entirely, from those that came from various villages, local government areas, and some other communities. Our governor is trying his best to see that the youth, they have got into an employment, either they got a job, or that's why the governor is trying to build a market to the state, so that our youth will now get a shop there to invest, either to depend on business.
The leadership of the Northeast Commodity Association (NECA) sensitized farmers in Yobe on the need to return loans collected from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The chairman of the association says government and relevant stakeholders will continue to render support to farmers across the 17 local governments of the state.
Interventions in so many areas, but this one in particular is for agricultural cultivation, agricultural purposes, farming. And NECAS is one of our major stakeholders in seeing that the Nigerian farmers are helped, are financed so that they can increase production, and in our industries, our allied industries should get inputs, and then also have a nation that is self-sufficient in food production.
Unity Bank, NAIC, and our traditional rulers, together with our local government chairmen of NECAS, to embark on recovery task force in Yobe State. We implement house-to-house recovery in Yobe State today. As you can see, the gathering of all the stakeholders were together now. This we have is on security issues in this Yobe State. We have our essential officers that will work out to the village, and the challenges they are facing is about the insecurity. They are fear to go to our farmers to collect this produce. This is the only challenge that we have.
sincerely thank each and every one of us.
Governor Mahimala Buni recently appointed new general managers for Yobe State-owned radio stations and television stations, alongside a director for online media under the Ministry of Information. The appointed persons are Musa Galadima as General Manager of Yobe Broadcast Corporation YBC, Yusuf Isa as General Manager Yobe State Television YTV, and Jubrin Koya as Director Online Media. During the handing over ceremony, the appointees thanked Governor Buni for giving them the privilege to serve in their respective offices. Veteran journalists in the state say the appointees are media inclined, noting that they would exhibit their wealth of experience in their media space in the state.
His Excellency has given me another opportunity to come and be the General Manager of the state-owned radio station, YBC. I think I'm short of words actually. You have seen it yourself, how the staff of YBC came out en masse to receive me, and I think this goes to tell you that they are actually anxious to have me as their chief executive, and I think this is an indication that also that shows that they are ready to give me all the necessary support and cooperation for us to succeed as a family. Without their support and cooperation, there is no way I will succeed in delivering my mandate. But I want to use this opportunity to assure His Excellency, the Executive Governor, that with the support and backing of the Almighty Allah, inshallah, I'm going to succeed. I will not fail him.
There are serious challenges which we already identified there. We have been working in the industry, and all what I want is the support and cooperation from our staff for us to achieve this mission, because it's a serious one and it's a serious challenge. And we equally need the support from government, because we have to update our equipment to be up to date so that it will go with the modern challenges.
What do you have to say to His Excellency for giving you this opportunity?
I really appreciate His Excellency. In fact, I'm short of words appreciation. What I can say, I promise him I will not disappoint him. That's the only thing I can say.
At the least, he is most capable for this office. As chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Yobe State Council, he has steered the leadership of the council very effectively. That apart, he's a pioneer staff of this organization, and he knows the workings of the organization from the start to date, and I think that will add to his wealth of experience in managing the affairs of this organization. Moreover, he is coming at a time when there is a tremendous change in the information sector in Yobe State. There is a very experienced journalist as the State Commissioner for Information, who has put some very beautiful foundations for the state media houses to function effectively. And I think we live to see a great deal of transformation in the information sector in Yobe State.
Yusuf Isa is not a new person in the media industry. More so, he is one of the pillars of the house since from establishment to date. He's a hard work and dedicated staff. We know his antecedent and we know his capabilities. Certainly, with the wealth of experience he gathered from the establishment of the station to now, no doubt, I'm confident that Yusuf Isa will deliver and will live up to it.
So far, 18 out of 43 roads and drainages under construction by the federal government in tertiary institutions across the country have been completed. This was disclosed by the Minister of Works, Power and Housing, who was represented by Olusegun Babalola at the commissioning of internal road at the Federal University Gashua in Yobe State.
We are here to commission the 0.3 kilometer long road facility, and so that can be taken over by the university community. You see, if you remember the minister's speech, which I read on his behalf, that was just phase one. We're going to be having different phases, phase one, phase two, and on like that. So I believe his desire will be granted.
The 22 kilometers.
It will be granted. Let him just monitor it. It will be granted.
How soon, sir? Are they expecting the next phase?
You know, we are in the next level agenda. Next level agenda. It will come.
Of course, like Oliver Twist, you always ask for more. You see, the Honorable Minister's representative said, we are going to the next level. So I'm looking forward to the next phase, which should not be long from now.
The students of the Federal University Gashua appreciated the federal government for easing their movement within the school premises.
This project is not just to the university, but the entire community of Nigerian students. So we really appreciate the Federal Minister of Works and Housing and President Muhammadu Buhari administration in doing well by providing all welfare to Nigerian students.
Before, the road was so bad. So bad. Before getting to the other extent, you have to walk through a lot of sand, and it was so bad. Now this road is beneficiary to us.
There's so much to talk about the construction of the Yobe State Cargo International Airport, and the managing director of this ambitious airport is here to shed more light on this. Engineer Suraj Wakili. Sir, tell us how unique this project, this airport is.
As far as Yobe State government is concerned, and as far as the Northeast is concerned, this is the only cargo airport in the Northeast.
Wow.
The only cargo airport in the Northeast.
So, and how will this service the region?
You understand the importance of an airport itself to any place. Airport is no more a luxury now, it is a necessity because it is part of the economy of any place.
Sure.
So the Yobe State government conceived this idea of an international cargo airport here to cater for freight, especially of upcoming industries, solid minerals. That is why you need a cargo airport here. We have abundance of resources. The airport itself is tied to agriculture and industry, apart from trading. And you agree with me, this is the closest cargo airport to our neighbors, Niger, Chad, Cameroon. This is the closest cargo airport. So it's just a hub. The cargo airport is going to be a hub. It's not going to be an airport, it's going to be a trade center for not only the Northeast, but anybody in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And Femi, you might not get this, but do you know that this is the closest airport to Dubai in the whole of Nigeria?
Really?
Yeah. This is the closest airport to Dubai in the whole of Nigeria.
So that would even be better for
trade,
business people.
Trade, yeah. So is also India. This is the closest geographically. So the idea is to just make it a trade center, not only an airport.
Let's talk about let's talk about the value chain now. Beyond the airport, some other businesses will be connected to these, transport and all that. Talk about this whole value chain.
Yeah. You see, like agriculture now. Agriculture taking the position of almost every other thing in the economy of any country. Agriculture, solid minerals, which Yobe State is very blessed with, which the Northeast is very blessed with. Now, this is where the processing, the export, the import will be taking place. So it's a whole lot of chain, production, export, import here. And I also want to remind you that the new railway line from the federal government is connecting here to Damaturu, from Kano to Damaturu. Once it is in Damaturu, you can be sure the rail will also be connected to the airport. So this is the link. It's a whole link. We have a lot of things: animal production, agriculture, solid minerals, sesame production, so many, and people willing to export. And they need where to export. And this is the place. This is the place. So agriculture is no more a subsistence agriculture. Now it is a mechanized agriculture. So if it is going to be a mechanized agriculture, you need where you'll process your things, export them, and has hard currency.
Let's talk about capacity now. The terminal, the control tower, the apron. What's the capacity and how is it built to serve its purpose?
You can see this is 250 by 150. You can pack 5 big cargo aircrafts here, which is very, very unique. You understand, which is very, very sufficient. And if you look at the control tower, you look at the terminal building, they are almost 75%. It's almost 75%. It's just touches that is remaining for the terminal building, the control tower, the fire service, the maintenance section. It's just finishing touches. So we are now concentrating this finishing touches. The work there has little or nothing to do with what is happening here. This building, this construction. So we are putting all our efforts here. This is the apron. Maybe it will take us 40, 45 days maybe to finish this type of slabs. You need about 1,500 of these slabs to finish this apron, connected to the taxiway and to the runway.
Wow, I wish you all the best, sir.
Thank you so
much. On your duty in this very ambitious project. Thank you, sir.